But is it me, or does it just feel that it doesn't feel like a typical Michigan State week? There's just seems to be a lack of hype, a lack of juice, for a lack of a better word. I don't know. And I think it's just what's going on here in the state of Michigan. Michigan State again got beat on Saturday. Not a surprise there. A lot of folks didn't think they'd cover the spread. They wouldn't have, except for that last-minute field goal by Jonathan Smith, or his decision to kick that field goal. But it's just a crazy, crazy feeling. Ann Arbor, and East Lansing, and Ann Arbor for that matter. I just don't see the hype. And here's my first question. All kidding aside, here's my first question to the Michigan State fan. Is beating Michigan enough for Jonathan Smith to keep his job? Do you want him to win? If he wins, he's going to stick around. There's no doubt about it. It's a big rivalry game. It's, unfortunately for Michigan State, it's their Super Bowl right now. They need wins in bunches if they want to go to a bowl game. But do you really want him around? I know deep down you want to beat Michigan. There's no doubt about it. But does it come with a caveat? I mean, is it like making a deal with the devil? That's the kind of feeling it is right now in East Lansing, and it's a terrible feeling. As a Michigan fan, I get it. And, I'm not a big Sharon Moore fan. I think they're winning despite him. But in East Lansing, it just makes you wonder, do you really want him to win? I know the vultures are circling here in Michigan State. He seems like dead man walking. It's like the majority of the fans don't want him. But this is different this week. This is Michigan and Michigan State week. And I know the fans would love nothing better than to beat Michigan. But if they do, that means he's going to be around at least through the rest of the year. And the way that Georgia Tech's coach is doing, and I know that's where Jay Back is coming from, the price of poker to get him keeps going up and up and up. So that's the question I ask. And on the Michigan side of it, did that win against Washington Saturday feels like fool's gold to you? I don't know, man. Washington, rather, they shot themselves in the foot in the second half. As a Michigan fan, I'll take the win. And I know, as it says on the graphic, you might think I'm crazy talking playoff, but just think about it for a second. Michigan's going to be favored to win every game the rest of the year until they get to the Ohio State game. All right. We know that. And if they played right now, Ohio State would truck them by probably 3 touchdowns. But that's what we said last year when they went to Columbus. Nobody in their right mind thought that Michigan was going to beat Ohio State in Columbus. And look what happened. It didn't deter Ohio State. They ended up winning the national championship. But after last year, anything's possible. But I don't know, man. They got to get Haynes back. They got to get Hayes back running the ball. No doubt about it. Underwood needs that running game established. I thought they looked good in spots, but they got the breaks with a couple of bad throws. And we know if they can get some heat on Childs, he's potentially probably going to do the same thing. But this is a rivalry game. 14 points to me is way too much. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. I just don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how fired up Michigan State's going to be. And Michigan, I know they're not going to look past them. Michigan's got to win out at least to get to, go into that Ohio State game with 2 losses. And they've got the schedule that pretty much favors it from here on out. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But I know it looks crazy to talk about Michigan potentially with a playoff run. But, hey, they beat Ohio State at the end of the year. I guarantee you they'll be in the playoff conversation, if not get one of those spots. But I don't see it happening. But that's what we said last year, right? When they were a 23-point underdog. So just the initial talk on Michigan State Saturday night, 7:30. We're going to talk more about it all week here on our Extravagant Few Minutes episodes for sure. We'll make a prediction on it later on in the week, probably Saturday morning, the final prediction. But it just, like I said, maybe there'll be more hype to it towards the end of the week. But it just seems like the Monday before Michigan State still has more of a rivalry feel, more of the chatter back and forth. Michigan State fans right now in a very subdued state of mind. A lot of them waiting for hockey or for basketball season. Hockey's here. We'll talk about that in a moment. But just does not have the feel of a Michigan State weekend right now. With Michigan State down, many of the fans wanting their coach gone, and Michigan, winning, but it just doesn't feel like they're dominating, and It just feels like an off year for this rivalry. And maybe by the end of the week, maybe by Friday and Saturday, enough dirt will be said to each other to get everybody fired up. But I just don't see it. And that 7:30 kick time, a lot of folks not happy with that. So we'll keep an eye on that. But it is Michigan State week, Maylocks week, whatever you want to call it. We'll get you ready for it by the end of the week.